Dan, valuing property, it's always, people have different views, especially vendors sometimes, in terms of what they think their property's worth, and also we have to educate clients in terms of where the value is on property. And there's different ways that we do it. It's not always obviously just listening to the sales agent and seeing what they want. We obviously take that with a grain of salt, but a couple of other methods that we use.
Yeah, so we use, obviously, when we're looking at property, we look at the most comparable properties that have sold recently within the last sort of 3 to 6 months. That gives us a really good indication of where we see value and where the property is going to sell.
Yep.
Another method is using that yield and reverse engineering.
Like they do with commercial property, essentially. So if a property's, if the average yield for a market's 4%, and the property is rented for $600 a week, you can obviously then reverse engineer what that purchase price, because the price is an inverse relationship of the yield of the rental yield, and that's obviously how they value commercial property sometimes. So that's a good way just to check in and just see, if that yield's being maintained. But yeah, the comparables, like you said, finding stuff that's is comparable, that's sold recently. But in a hot market, sometimes those comparable sales too can be a little bit outdated quite quickly, and we're finding that too, where again you can't purely rely on a comparable sale that's 6 months old if the market's moved kind of 5% as well. So yeah, a few other ones, and also just the residual land value. Like we can always find out what's the actual piece of dirt worth, and then or add on a house value. So there's many different ways to work out what a property is worth, and all equally important.